What is up, my friends? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share with you guys a 12 coin PCGS submission I just sent off. 5 of them are crackouts, and we'll just start going through them. This first one is a coin that I originally bought off of eBay, and it is a 45 Mercury dime. This coin without full bands is not worth much, whether it's a 64 or 65. Super hard to get one of these in full bands. I do believe this coin is. We'll try to do a little zoom skis just so you guys can see. You can also go online and look at the true views. But if you look, that center band looks pretty strong to me. When I was looking on CoinFacts and reading about this, the most common ones of these that are full bands are error coins. For whatever reason, the center tended to strike harder on error coins. I had originally bought this, paid a lot more in MS64 price for it because you could see, how close those were to full bands on eBay. It was 200 bucks. So I was taking a risk on this coin. Sent it to Annex just because I wanted to do a little experiment, kind of on a pit stop on the way to PCGS. Was never going to stay in the holder, so I didn't really care. It was 13 bucks. And PCGS ended up calling it a 64 plus. Real bummer. Coins like this probably worth 20 bucks. If it had been full bands, I want to say like 1,500. There's only been around 100, maybe 150 of these to get that full band designation out of probably 20-30 million that were struck. So we'd have to probably try again on that one. Next one, 1921 Morgan. It was in 63 PL. I bought this on eBay, taking a risk on this one too. If it didn't come back PL, I was gonna probably take a huge loss on it. Real chattery. I don't think it's any nicer than a 63. I mean, you could even argue it's a 2, but I think it's nothing wrong with the coin that we're going to show the grid. Ended up getting a 3. It's a real bummer. I do think it is leaning pretty heavily towards PL. PCGS is really strict on them. I mean, you can really see it there if you get in the right way, but it should really have that PL look at all, pretty much all angles, not just, you just don't have, and it has it on the obverse, you just don't have much contrast. Maybe they want to see a little more contrast for that. As is, this would be also a big loss. And so that coin will also not stay in that holder. I'll just send that one back to Annex, try to get it back into that, so I can at least get some of my money back. I don't mind sending coins in, doing crackouts, stuff like that. I know a lot of people, the purist coin collectors, the old school guys, they don't like to see this, and I get it. I like to embrace all sides of coin collecting. CAC, cracking coins out, collect US coins, collect world coins, buy coins, sell them. I just like all of it. And so I don't mind doing stuff like this. Also, normally I don't like to crack rattlers out, but because they are somewhat more rare. But common date Morgans in MS65 are not that rare in a rattler. Even this coin with even passing, still only maybe has a $30 premium. This one I knew was a lot nicer, and I was really expecting a gold sticker on it because to me it looked like a 66 plus is what I would have graded it. Let's see if I can get a little better angle for you guys to see. Super clean. It has this one mark across the chin, but that's actually, I think it might even be a VAM. You can also look at the true view on that. It's the middle of the day right now, so I'm getting kind of this natural light coming through here. Maybe not showing the coins quite as good as I would like. You can see it right there. See that line across the chin? It's actually it's raised up, and it's in the planchet. There's a or in the die. And then let me zoom back out. I think the obverse is 66. The reverse on this coin is like a 68. It's like flawless. There's one tiny little, just barely little nick right there below the wing, but I would say that the reverse is like an 8 and the obverse is 6. So I would grade this 66 plus. I think would be a fair grade. And came back a 7. So that's pretty cool. Nice upgrade on that. It goes from being like a $200 maybe $30 coin up to like a $780 maybe $800 coin now. 82S is worth a little bit more than an 80S, and 67 maybe like $100 more. They're still very common, but they're a little less common than 80S or even 81S, if I recall. So worth a little bit more. Two other ones, these next two were both in Rattlers too. MS65 CAC, and I felt both of these were nicer. They each took a pit stop at Annex too, and I wanted to see, because I've never got anything over a 5 from them. It's actually very hard. You don't even see 66 Morgans. I mean, I have seen them, even 7s in Annex holders, but like you hardly ever see them. Super hard. And I decided to send 3 of them that I knew that were obviously nicer, to see if I could get a 66 out of them on something. You know, they called that one a 5 too. And this one upgraded to a 6, which is nice. So I'll probably get, you know, it was 200 in the Rattler to begin with, another probably $50 in grading fees, but now it's like a $280 coin. So I go from losing $30 to making $30 on that coin. There's another reason I did it. I was going to lose money on all 3 of these coins, so I decided to just take a risk. There's 99O. If you can get a 6 in this coin, it's worth a little more than those other 2 common dates. It's a slightly better date. This coin was also very clean. This one I graded the last one I thought was like a 5 plus, and it came back a 6. This one I thought was a 6. Really nice, super clean on both sides. I think it has one. It just has that really like light chatter right there. Not even really slide marks, just kind of like little nicks. And some pretty cool die cracks on it. One little one on the chest. Was pretty sure I was going to get higher than a 5 on this one. And also got a 6. That's pretty nice. A little upgrade on there. That goes from like 250 in the Rattler to now, I just sold it $430. So went from losing money on that coin to making a little bit. That was nice. Next up is 1950 Proof Franklin that I bought from my buddy when I bought a large collection from him a while ago. This was one of the coins in the set. Really the only one worth submitting, unless you have like a really high grade on one of the other coins. I thought this would be a 66. I think it's super clean. It has a little bit of a spot right there. I think that might be what it held it back. Almost all of these will have at least, you know, that or more on them. So even with that, I thought I would get a 6. It's just super clean, nice look to this coin. Very minimal contact marks. And I came back a 5, but that's still nice. It's still like a $500 coin. Up next is this 1969 Denver Kennedy. This is kind of an unassuming coin. You wouldn't think, even with the high grade, that this would be worth much, but it actually is. Once you get above even at a 66, I think it's like a $90 coin. I thought this was going to be a 6 with maybe a shot 6 plus. I think 7 was a real stretch on it. I mean, it has a nice look to it. I just think there's just a few too many marks. There's a nice tone. I was really hoping for a higher grade. I really haven't submitted much like this before, so just more of an experiment coin. It didn't go well. That's definitely a money loser. That coin's like, in that grade, it's like $15, so I screwed up on that one. But lesson learned. This one is kind of a cool coin. Really nice tone on it. This is in a modern PCI holder. And I bought it off eBay for like probably 70 bucks. And I thought they would come back a 4. I could tell from the pictures, you do find a lot of artificially toned coins in their holders. But this one was, to me, pretty obvious, natural toning. It has that nice like crescent. So I was hoping for a 64 on it. And if it had came back 64, I would, probably made 20, 30 bucks. But and a 63 is probably $100 coin. So I probably broke even on that coin. Maybe even lost 5 bucks. I had 3 proof Washington quarters that were in old photo certs, a company I hadn't never heard of before. I'd have to find the certs to remember the name of the company. They had graded all of them proof 65. I think they kind of just slapped that grade on every one of the proofs back then, early 80s. Was hoping for a higher grade on all 3 of these. Didn't do very well on the Washington proofs. This one came back a 4. These are another coin they don't have. Even though I'm a quarter guy, I haven't handled a lot of the early proofs. It's just kind of hazy. Not a lot of marks. It's just kind of hazy. Just not a real appealing look to it. These don't have luster quite like you would with the business strike. But still a nice coin nonetheless. Probably like a $90 coin. I bought them pretty cheap at the time too. I think I got all 3 of them. I bought 5 originally, but I sent 3 in for grading and sold 1. This one that was my best hope for a high grade, and it had a bit of haze. It actually came off really nice. I thought this would get like a 5 or a 6, but it turned after I sent it in. These have been gone for 4 months, and I think the problem was I would do a real quick dip in the E-Zest, but you dip multiple coins and then you start getting kind of particulates and residue left over in that. And what I should really be doing going forward, now that I know, is dump a little bit out each time and then just dip the coin and then throw the E-Zest away rather than reusing the whole container. And that way you're not, contaminating the whole batch. So I know that going forward. I think that's probably what happened. And it turned into flip, and now it has residue unk detail. So I screwed up on that one. The 1940. This one really needs to come back a high grade for... I thought this was like a 4 or 5, but again, I don't have a lot of experience with these. And now looking at it closer, it's just a lot more little contact marks and just not a nice... surface like you'd want to see, especially on that reverse. That might be from me using the dirty E-Zest. I think really hurt me on these 3 Washington quarters. So gonna have to make that change going forward. Last one, my favorite of the submission, is this 1976 Denver clad Kennedy. Came back AU58 plus, really cool. The only clad Centennial Kennedy to ever get AU58 plus. And if anybody knows about the Everyman sets, AU58 plus is the grade you're going for. So someone that was doing the Everyman set on the registry sets, they would really want a coin like this. I wouldn't even know what this would go for at auction. It could go really high. No telling what this coin is actually worth, but it's got sentimental value. It's not a coin I'd ever sell. I'm actually going to give this back to, I found this in my stepdad's collection. He had an old collection of Buffalo nickels, Kennedy halves, all sorts of stuff that he had got while working at Subway back in the early 80s. And he would always find cool stuff in his change and set it aside and fill his books. And he hasn't really done that in the last 40 years. And I found this when we were going through them. And, immediately stood out to me, and he didn't realize how special of a coin it was. So then I explained it to him about the toning and stuff like that, and how it adds value, and how you'd have to, send it in for grading. So I did all that for him. So I'm going to give this coin back to him, and it'll get me a chance to kind of teach him about, how coin collecting has changed over the years, and I've already sent him pictures, so he's really happy to be getting this coin back like this with the true reviews and stuff, and getting a chance to learn about it. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited about that. Overall, good submission. You know, a couple big winners with the 3 Morgan upgrades and this Kennedy straight grading was really nice. Some learning experiences on the dipping of the coins. Kind of a bummer on that broad struck and it come back full bands. But you know, that's just the game we play. And until next time, like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends. Have a good rest of your day.